And welcome to Trackside Live here from the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. I'm Jesse Von Ruden filling in for Rick Wilson this week as we are getting set for our last regular season night of La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway racing here. Points battles are tight. We're going to go over those before we bring you qualifying tonight. Just an easy way to kind of kick things off and kind of go from here. So already looking at the late model standings, this has been a fantastic field of late models this year, and we still have two twin 20s tonight. A lot of things could change, especially when you're looking in positions 2, 3, and 4, very tight along the way. Right now, currently in the lead, Nick Mergic with 546 points, Steve Carlson in second, a place where he's not, I would say he's not really familiar being in second. Usually Steve is very familiar with being in first, but he's down here at this point in time with 480 points, and it's pretty close right after him. A tie for third between Steve Bachman and Billy Moan at 465, followed by Brett Kirshner at 444. Jacob Gady in sixth place with 435. Mike Carlson in seventh with 427. Of course, Nick Clements, 396 in eighth place. Ninth place, Grant Brown from Prior Lake at 347. Right behind him, finishing out the top 10, Jeff Partington with 346. So it's going to be interesting. These points not set in stone here tonight, especially with those two twin 20s to go as well. And remember, we are going to have two more nights of late model racing coming up for Oktoberfest, as we'll have twin 20s on two of those 4 nights as well for the late models. NASCAR nationally extended the season, so it's really going to make tonight's race plus the 2 Oktoberfest races very, very competitive to watch as well. Of course, it's not just the late models out here at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. You know, we have tight point battles going on throughout, including the Sportsman division. Sportsman division right now currently in first place, Dave Edwards, followed by Mark Chalet, Jack Lidscheim, Sam Niles, Jess Green, Edward Wass, Rick Coppernoll, Bill Schott, Justin Berg, and Brian Hesselberg. And it's been really kind of interesting because if you look at the points right now, it's very close. Second, third, fourth, fifth. And then at that point in time, Dave Edwards kind of steps away a little bit, up 40 points at this point in time. But of course, it's been really kind of interesting. It's a different year for with the Sportsman division here. It's just been really interesting to see how that one's kind of really played out. And you look at some of these guys, like Mark Chalet hasn't had a win yet this year, but he's had 8 top 10s. He's been in 8 features, 8 top 5s. So the consistency here is paying off for Mark Chalet, where he is within just a gap of 37 points from taking over that top spot. He could do it here tonight. Of course, looking down further on the point standings as well, the hobby stocks. Brandon Gallagher currently sits in first there. He is 18 points ahead of Jason Bolster in second. Third, Austin Schott. Fourth, Caleb Hardy. Fifth would be Mark Chalet. Sixth, Alex Rude. Tyler Stuber at 7. In eighth, it would be Lester Stanfield. Joe Pazek in 9th, and Adam Moore in 10th. You know, usually you don't see Adam Moore down there that far, but this year not really racing as much as he usually does. So really, a guy like Brandon Gallagher, who finds himself in first, ahead 18 points of Jason Bolster, that's really going to be the points battle you want to watch tonight here in the hobby stock feature. But don't discount a guy like Austin Schott, who could really jump into second here. He's got an opportunity. He can very well do it. Or a guy like Caleb Hardy, just looking right outside of a top 3 finish at this point in time. It's going to be really kind of interesting to see how that one really plays out as well. Of course, going further down the line as well, we've had just absolutely a fun time with the minivan division this year. The minivans, of course, right now, the top dog in that one, Dave Trout Jr., but he only leads it by 1 point over John Hebner. So that one's going to be a really interesting battle as well. Plus, Zach Leach in third, followed by Jonathan Burbach, Al Bartles, Chris Larson, Keith Larson, Matthew Bornheimer, John Crosse in the K9 is actually in 9th. And then Bernard Lucy rounding out the top 10. It's going to be really kind of interesting. If you look at the top 5 positions, 45 points separates 5th from 1st. That's going to be an awesome division to follow as well. Of course, they have a feature here tonight. Want to make sure you guys catch that one and stay with that one. That one's going to be a really fun battle to kind of follow tonight as well. Moving on now down to street stocks. Matt Moore currently in the lead here with a 63-point advantage over Rob Stanfield, followed by Chris Larson, Dan Fry, Keith Larson, Adam Curley, Zach Leach, John Clausen in 8th place here, the K9. That's really cool for him. Steve Brazda in 9th, and Al Bartles in 10th. And looking at the points, it is kind of interesting. The battle between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 10 points separates those 3 drivers, Stansfield, Larson, and Fry. Really will be doing battle here tonight. Matt Moore could really kind of try to sew that one up. But I don't believe the street stocks are actually racing tonight, so we'll have to follow that one further down the line as well. It's going to be a good race here, following out the rest of the field on that one. Moving on down now. Of course, Hornets. Hornets will be in action as well tonight. Let's take a look at that one. It's Jimmy Bjorkman. He's got the lead by 9 points over Cheyenne Stansfield. Cheyenne's been having a heck of a year out here, really coming to her own. It's really proven that she belongs out here at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. 3rd, you have Joey Johnson, Chris Bergen 4th, 5th, Mark Lethe, 6th, Michael Wallach Jr., Jaden Strachan 7th, Robert Stansfield in 8th, John Hebner in 9th, rounding out the top 10, Dexter Moline. And looking at the points battle here as well, you're looking anywhere between 3rd and 9th. That's really kind of close there. I mean, there's a 30-point difference between 9th and 3rd, but going through this, Johnson barely has a lead over Berg. Berg barely has a lead over Lethe. Wallach's, he's right there with Lethe as well. It's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out, too. We're going to see the Hornets in feature action as well tonight. Plus, there's a Hornets novelty. It's just going to be one of those nights out here at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway where we're going to have a lot of racing action, and it's going to be really good, folks. Of course, everything out here starts at 7:30, so you have plenty of time to make sure you are out and doing what you want to do. Still have time to head out here to the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway as we are looking like we are going to go with a little bit of qualifying here with Dan Diker and Bill Niles.
Final weekly points night here at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, and we are ready to go. Big D, Heavy D, you brought Kevin out of the woodworks? There's not a dart tournament here. You lost, sir? Great to see everybody out here tonight, and it is the final weekly points night for all of our divisions, so expect some extra hard racing tonight. Minivans Hornets going to be joining everybody else. Going to qualify here in just a second. Getting things kick-started, 06, River City Ready Mix 2005 Saturn Relay from Winona. Zach Leach. Mark's Hot Water Pressure Washing and Home Services, CB Shop, Auto Center Towing, JJ's Towing and Recovery, Roy and Deb, Grandpa Alex Leach, Billy Doc Niles. Why do we qualify these vehicles?
This is what sets our lineup for this evening's races. This was, you'll see the 18.576 for Leaps. Slowest to the fastest, front to back, and the fastest try to get to the front.
Next up, the number 12 Advantage Auto Salvage 89 Dodge Caravan from Tomo. That's Al Bartles. John Hebner has a 3-point lead over Dave True Jr., Zach Leach third, John Burback fourth, Al Bartles in the top 5. He still has a chance at the top 4 this year.
Bartles 18.333. That should put him on top of the board once they fix that.
One of the 3 green minivans. First up, the 98 Larry's Taxidermy 05 Buick Teresa. Out of La Crosse, that's Keith Larson. On behalf of Chuck Deary, everybody here at Motorsports Management, I am Radio Man Dan Dyker, along with Billy Doc Niles, Paul the Penguin Reichert, broadcasting qualifying live on KQEG TV, Channel 23, CenturyLink Channel 4, Charter Channel 5.
We didn't get our time for Larson there, but we got another Larson on the track.
Next out is the 89 2005 Buick Teresa, Matt Bornheimer. Matt Bornheimer back again.
My bad. Larson is on top of the board with an 18.320. Bornheimer will cross. At an 18.442, he will settle into third.
Down below the 21M, JJ's Towing and Recovery 2000 Chevy Venture out of Holman, Wisconsin. That's Bernie Lucy. Bernie Lucy is supported by ER Pilot Cars, Wrecked Lawn and Snow, Crazy Train Farms, Lacrosse JC's, Brady Martin Construction, and Red Balloon Daycare.
Lucy taking a nice smooth corner off of turn 4. 18.393 for Lucy. That'll put him third for the moment.
Down below the number 2, Larry's Taxidermy 2000 Chevy Venture, supported by Summit Fire Protection. Out of Lacrosse, that's Chris Larson. Chris Larson will double duty this year. Minivans and street stocks are his flavor.
Larson is he's the one carrying the fish in this class. His brother carries the fish in the street stocks. 18.364, 18.364. Now he's in third.
Next up, the number 13, Bauer Built. No Limits Racing 2005 Buick Terrazza. Out of Winona, that's Smalls, John Burbach.
Burbach picked up a heat race win the last time Minivans were out here. He will come across at an 18.549, 18.549.
Zach Leapsh had the last win as we came out, 0-6.
My bad.
Next up, the 14, Modern Disposal Service, Pontiac Aztec out of Sport of Wisconsin. Dave True Jr., the only 2-time van winner this season. He starts tonight 3 markers behind John Hebner.
Definitely one of the fast ones to watch tonight when we get to our heats and features. Right to the top of the board with an 18.030.
Your point leader is out next. The number 14, Grazy Dave's Auto Repair 2000 Chevy Venture, supported by Marges on Rose Street. Out of Lacrosse, point leader John Hebner, trying to make that minivan a 2-time champion by 2 different drivers.
Yeah, Rob Stanfield, the champion in that van last year. Hebner will come across at a 17.532, and that will wrap up qualifying, and I do believe that puts Hebner on top of the board.
So that'll do it for the Mountain Dew minivans. We have all kinds of qualifying getting ready to pop off here on our final weekly points night at the Lacrosse Speedway. And it's Complete Pest Control Hornets are next. Again, we're going to be off next weekend, and we're going to try to give you some information on the Midwest Overland Festival that will be here at the Lacrosse Speedway. It's like they've got caravans and music and crafts and all kinds of fun coming on here for 3 days. So again, Minivans, Dave True, the only 2-time feature winner this year as we get ready for the Hornets. The 3 of Michael Walks Jr. is the only 2-time winner this year. We've had all kinds of different winners. 5 to be exact in the Ants Complete Pest Control Hornets. And on any given night, Billy Luckniles, we can get a 6th different winner.
Definitely. These one of the more entertaining classes out here. You see the 10 of Jaden Schock lined up in front, getting ready for qualifying. A lap and a half away from her first ever feature win in the Hornets, only to drift a little high and give it off to Thunderberg on the last lap. So there's at least 10 to 12 cars that can win a feature here in this class. That's why they make it so entertaining.
All right, group qualifying, going to send them out in 2 different groups, bringing them out second in points, the 41 of Cheyenne Stanfield in the Emergent Graphics and Designs Tuatacelica. Right behind her, the number 10, Legacy Painting, 1990 Honda Accord, Jaden Schock out of West Salem. Jaden Schock on this season is in the top 10 in points. 25, Chris Thunderberg, 4th in points, got a feature win last time we had these gentlemen and ladies out. The Hog Daddy's Bar and Grill Honda Civic out of Melrose. Only 2-time Hornet winner is down below the number 3, Walks Jr. Racing Honda Prelude from Albert Lee, Minnesota, Michael Walks Jr. 01 Grand River Dental 95 Mitsubishi Eclipse, Lacrosse's Dexter Malin. Also out to qualify is the number 27 Mergent Graphics and Designs Tuatacelica, Melrose's Jordan Young. Your point leader is the number 28 Advanced Planning Technologies Honda Civic, West Salem's Jimmy Bjorkman. The number 4, Lofquist Construction Ford Escort from St. Paul, Minnesota, Chuck Lofquist. 21M, JJ's Towing and Recovering Honda Accord, that's La Crosse's Matt Miller. The 44, Hoka Co-op Acura RSX, La Cresse, Minnesota's Jake Schammers. And that is a stealthy field, Billy Docknell's group number 1.
Definitely some fast cars in this first group right here. Michael Walk's already sitting there with a 16-2, so fast times coming off the board. We're gonna turn them loose here and let you watch them for a couple of minutes.
Again, Jimmy Bjorkman, a 9-point lead over Cheyenne Stanfield, 38 more than Joey Johnson, 42 better than Chris Berg, and 47 better than Mark Lethe. Bjorkman 16.245 is one of our fast cars right off the bat. Cheyenne Stanfield 16.4. Jaden Schock 16.4. Jordan Young 16.4. Michael Walks is 16.258. Jake Schammers has called it quits, as is Chris Thunderberg and Dexter Malin and Jaden Schock. Again, they get about 3 minutes. 2 different groups of group qualifying. Last time the Hornets were out, Cheyenne Stanfield broke the track record. Her teammate Jordan Young almost broke her track record in the feature. So that's all he wanted to do. He didn't want to win. He wanted to break the record.
You don't want the guy in the back of the car taking away your track record. That don't make you look very good.
Jimmy Bjorkman has had enough with a 16.245. Walks with a 16.258, second fastest. Miller and Lofquist trying to better their times. Jordan Young still third fastest, 16.316. Love the way that 27 sounds as he spits out of the corners.
That is just a nice high winding engine. It sounds powerful.
16.281. Young got a little bit quicker, but still third. White flag will fly one more time around the Action Track quarter mile.
I've been watching Young the last couple laps really throw it into the corners. And
quick time. Jordan Young, 16.236 on his final lap.
I was just saying, I've been watching him throw it into the corners the last couple of laps, and he's been picking up about a half a tenth each time.
And you notice how fast he took it off the racetrack.
Yeah, he saw his number go up to the top of the board. Yeah, I'm done.
Wow, 16.236 unofficially is quick time. Bjorkman second fastest, followed by Walks, Schock, Stanfield, Berg, Schammers, Malin, Miller, Lofquist, and the next group getting ready to emerge on the quarter mile. Flagman saying, "Hey, Michael, what are you doing?"
Yeah, Michael, we threw the checkered flag 2 laps ago, bud.
Kiana Barney, First American Roofing and Siding Honda from West Salem, is going to lead him out. With the 3-quarter car, Lofquist Construction Mazda Protege of Nick Bobby Hadler from Intergrove Heights, Minnesota. Also want to qualify the 24 3-in-1 Construction Saturn, West Salem's Justin Iverson. Right behind him is the 24 3-in-1 Construction Saturn. Oh, we have a pair of 24s tonight. So I wonder if Jacob is going to be running the backup car to Justin in the 24. He would normally be the 21. Shin Doggy's Cardinal Nest Ford Focus, but it looks like he's going to be running a backup car tonight. He did have his original Hornet out here, but he might be running his brother's backup. Next out, the 77 Crazy Dave's Auto Repair Honda CRX, Rob Stanfield. 22K is not Chris Christian tonight. That is going to be a guest driver, Keith Kirschner, the JJ's Towing and Recovery Honda Civic. Keith Kirschner in the 22. 19, 608 Landscaping Honda Accord, Cashton's Brandon McCarthy. And the 42 of the 98 Chevy Cavalier, Melrose's Gregory Fair. Now the 11 car. So the 11 car is Jacob Iverson's car, but there's somebody else in it tonight. K9 is John Crosse, and look at all that smoke he's bringing out. TJ's Auto Glass K9 of John Clausen. So Kendon Thurk is struggling in turn number 3. The Thurkus is back in town. So John Clausen is in the K9. He's been smoking up the entire time.
It's not even warm enough for Bugs, and Clausen's doing us a favor.
JJ's towing and repair. I swear Clausen's had about 10 different entries, both here in street stocks this year.
I think we've even seen him in the Chris Christian car a couple of times, so he definitely gets around. The time 16:236 by Jordan Young is what these drivers. Whoa! We got one going around, and he hits a tire.
That's a bad angle, too. Luckily, he pulled away from that. Your tire is turned outwards, and you hit a tractor tire.
You don't want that standing straight up. Yep.
That's called breakage waiting to happen.
That will play havoc with your camber.
Iverson had to go back in the pits. He's going to break it back out. He can do that. Also a late entry, the number 14, Crazy Dave's Auto Repair 91 Honda Civic. Lacrosse's John Hebner. The Thurkus is in town. Kendon Thurk going round and around in turns 3 and 4 in Iverson's backup car. 42 has had enough. McCarthy's had enough of the 19. Thurkus can't get out. Ooh, Lethe almost got him in the back end. Tom Lethe is out tonight. The Nix Bar Honda CRX number 50. 32 is Joey Johnson. So really nobody in this session has moved up into the top 8. Tom Lethe is in the top 10.
Yeah, Tom Lethe and Mark Lethe, 9th and 10th. It's the farthest anybody in this group has got. Closest to the fast qualifier, Jordan Young, so far with a 16:236, with just a few laps left in this group.
Okay? Good. Can you let... Final laps of Hornet qualifying brought to you by Ants Complete Pest Control. And after qualifying is done, unofficially, Jordan Young has fast time in the Ants Complete Pest Control Hornets. Jimmy Bjorkman second fastest, followed by Michael Walks Jr., Joey Johnson, Jaden Schock. There's your top 5. Rest of your top 6 would be Cheyenne Stanfield, Chris Berg, Jake Chalmers, Mark Lethe, and Tom Lethe. So right now it looks like Jimmy Bjorkman would gain 4 points on Cheyenne Stanfield after qualifying, making it a 13-point lead now as Rob Stanfield's been doing this all night. That's the third car he's helped push.
Yeah, I think he wants to be a wrecker. I really do. And we do have an extra wrecker here, so if Rob wants another job when he's done racing, we have an extra wrecker.
Either that or he's going after some unknown award. And
well, look at the 42 and the 19.
Wow. Teammates just helping each other all the way across the boards. Concession stands wide open. Coldest beer stand in western Wisconsin wide open. Ice cold Pepsi products, as I'm putting one of those down right now. Chili cheese fries, cheese curds, Clemens brats, Clemens hot dogs. Billy and I just put 4 of those down.
Oh, they were delicious.
2.5 pounds of meat we just tossed.
Meat. Oh,
that was good stuff.
Plump, juicy.
Homemade pizza. And remember, we saw it come out last weekend. the brand.
At Ace of La Crosse, they know that playtime around here goes year-round. Make the Sportsland stop before you head out hunting, fishing, or camping for quality products and services at great prices. Talk over your outdoor plans with the experts at Ace of La Crosse, your work and play headquarters.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue. Big Boar Barbecue is open for customers in their dining room. They've weathered the virus and are now ready to welcome you back inside the dining room for lunch and dinner. They're practicing social distancing, extra cleaning, and sanitizing. For those who don't want to come inside, the drive-thru is open, and the outdoor picnic tables are clean and ready for your use. Big Boar Barbecue is open again, Highway 16 West Salem. Come enjoy a delicious mouthful or call 608-612-0387.
The two cars, Austin Schott, J&O Collectibles, Chevy Caprice out of Eau Claire. 33 is the Merchant Graphics and Design, 1970 Chevy Chevelle, Lester Stanfield out of La Crosse. Also out to qualify, the 99 Muddy Creek, 75 Chevy Malibu, North Bend's Joey Johnson. Number 7, Hubert's Auto Care Center, 77 Chevy is Sparta's Mark Chalet. And your final entry, the number 8 Bolster Motorsports, 77 Monte Carlo is Sparta's Jason Bolster. I could still smell that burning oil from Clausen's car up here in the tower.
Yeah, it's a very noticeable odor if you've been around racing for a while. Joey Johnson seeing the black flag. Unfortunately, he does not have a transponder on, so they're going to send him to the pits and tell him that he needs to get one. Good to see Tom Farah back in the 00 car, the old Johnny G car. Tyler Stuber basically in a backup car as he wrecked his car pretty bad. Oh, my goodness, there goes Brandon Gallagher.
Love you, babe. Well, the sledgehammered his way into turn 3. I don't see any fluids being dropped, and, well, if people would get out of the way, he can get it back to his pit stall. Gallagher again is your point leader. Tonight he enters with an 18-point lead over Jason Bolster. That one has not been settled yet.
No, definitely. It's one of our closest point battles we have. That and our Hornets that you see that you just saw qualifying. So
Andy Moore fast time right now, 16:3:38. They're looking at the front right end of Gallagher's number 5. Looks like there's no damage done. He's going to bring it back out. So Brandon Gallagher is possibly going to make an attempt to come back out again. It's Andy Moore, Brandon Gallagher, Jason Bolster, Mark Chalet, Tom Farah. There's your top 5. And Gallagher with the window net down is just going to take it back to the pit stall. Well, tough break for Brandon Gallagher as he is in a points championship hunt. Hopefully they can get things set up and ready to go by heat race time. Actually, it's really not the worst thing to happen right now, Dan, because he is sitting second behind Moore, and Bolster is doing his best to try and catch him. So out of just sheer luck, it looks like Gallagher may pick up a point on Bolster. So that's going to do it for the Auto Value Hobby Stocks. Jason Bolster one more time around the Action Track quarter mile. Lawn Keeper Sportsman will be next out to qualify with 2 new drivers getting ready to claim stake to the 5/8 mile. That pretzel looks awfully lonely right there. I think it needs some cheese. Look at that, just a lonely pretzel.
She's got a Mountain Dew to wash it down.
See, the entire Wagner family is having dinner out here tonight. Look at them. Every single one of them simultaneously eating except the kids. Somebody get Stacy a napkin. Look at her. Okay. Will you
Cheeser, pepperoni cheeser, you know you got it all right.
Little Caesar's new pepperoni cheeser with classic pepperoni, fresh mozzarella, and a toasted Parmesan and Asiago cheese crust for $7 at Little Caesar.
Pizza.
Ace of Lacrosse is your work and play headquarters when it comes to getting the job done. No place gives you better support for home, business, and industry with small engine and power tool repairs. Save by renting when you don't need to buy. Ace offers rentals on hundreds of items.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue.
Hear that? That's the sound of breakfast. Jerry here, and breakfast is back at Big Boar Barbecue. Come join us Monday through Friday, serving breakfast from 5:30 to 11. Pancakes, waffles, biscuits, and gravy. And yes, eggs too, any way you want them. Choose from 3 different hashes made fresh to order. Pulled pork, brisket, or boudin. Yes, sir, breakfast is back at Big Boar Barbecue, and it's a mouthful.
Lawnkeeper Sportsman are out. First up, the 99 Weir's Machine 99 Chevy Monty. And lacrosse, that's Jack Lichheim. Right behind him is the 75 ABC Consulting Chevy Traverse. It's a 1969 model. Bangor's Justin Berg. From the Mid-American Stock Car Series, he's second in points this year, welcoming Brownsburg, Indiana's Steve Blair in the Willingham Racing Ford 2012 Ford Fusion. Again, the 74 is currently second in Mid-American Stock Car points. Our new modified tonight out of Reedsburg, Wisconsin, is the 96 Ellis Modified Wisconsin Metals entry of Dave Swanson. He's currently 8th at another track here in Wisconsin. Your point leader is down below, the 5E Kimball Transportation 2000 Mod. That's Salem, Wisconsin's Dave Edwards. Right behind him, the only pickup truck, the 18 Melrose Auto Clinic 98 Ford F-150. That's Ed Ross. 2 feature wins this year for the number 28 Coney Island 2020 Dodge Challenger. That's Holman's Sam Niles. And fresh off of a wreck last night at the Thomas Sparta Speedway, the 13 Hubert's Auto Care 99 Chevy Monty. That's Sparta's Mark Chalet. Here comes group qualifying, and someone's blowing up on the back straightaway.
Yeah, I see that. Also not making it out so far out of his pit stall is the 29 of Jesse Green. Have not seen him since practice, so hopefully he's able to fix whatever issues he has and make it back out.
Now, something you don't normally see is Justin Berg sitting on top of the Tobacco Outlet Plus Grocery scoring tower with a 22.010.
Yeah, a very impressive lap by Berg. Like you said, Dan, something we don't normally see. Also, something we don't normally see. Really sounded like there were some gremlins in that 28 car, as he is not very high on the totem pole here.
Looking at the point standings, it's Dave Edwards, followed by Mark Chalet, Jack Lichheim, Sam Niles, and Jesse Green. Again, the new breakout rule this year. You got to be under 22 or over 22 seconds. Everyone's done it. I mean, even the first, second laps, everyone's been a really, really good. Even Steve Blair, our newcomer, 22.340. Dave Swanson, 22.128. I got a feeling our Sportsman and area sportsman races at Oktoberfest are going to have a lot of cars this year and a lot of modifieds.
This class this year following the pattern of rules set by the Misfits down at Madison. So you can definitely bet that we're going to see some of those guys from Madison at Oktoberfest. Dave Edwards, Madison finally got to open last night. Dave Edwards was the feature winner in the Misfits, so he's looking to make it 2 in a row tonight.
Looking at the NASCAR late models who qualify next, 8 out of 11 races this year we've had different winners. Nick Mergic is now the only 3-time winner as he picked up a win last weekend. Jacob Gady, Steve Carlson have 2 apiece. And for Nick Mergic, 2 fast times and 2 6-for-6 dash wins. So he's just had a remarkable season. And even after last week's Bud Dash 6-for-6, nobody changes the point standings because, well, Nick Clements and Nick Mergic didn't make the 6-for-6, so they're both tied. Jacob Gady not here tonight is only 10 back. Steve Carlson is here tonight. He's only 10 back. And Brent Kirshner's 30 back, so the Bud Dash has not been settled yet.
We are going to crown a Bud Dash champion tonight. That'll be our very first race, our 6-for-6 dash. So it basically comes down to, looks like Clements, Carlson, and Kirshner with an outside shot at taking the championship. So first race tonight, 6-for-6 dash, will crown a champion.
Top 5 in points for the late models: Nick Mergic, Steve Carlson, Steve Bachman, Billy Moan, and Brent Kirshner. Matter of fact, Bachman and Moan are tied for 3rd, so there's still a lot of movement to be had in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position. Late model rookie of the year, the leader is Grant Brown, followed by Pete Carlson, Mandy Eckelberg, Ken Dene, Sportsman. It's Ed Ross leading the way. Austin Schott, the only rookie in the hobby stocks this year. He will take home that championship. More picture time in the Ultra Federal Credit Union Victory Lane for the drivers that maybe didn't get a chance to get their pictures taken. And in case you didn't hear, folks, the change to Oktoberfest this year, of course, NASCAR has extended the NASCAR points through Oktoberfest racing. Our NASCAR late models will be running double features on Thursday and Friday of Oktoberfest. So it's been changed again. That's going to be interesting. 2 more races for... Well, they're not going to raise the price for it. So again, Thursday and Friday of Oktoberfest, double features both nights for the NASCAR late models, and we will crown a late model champion this year on Friday night.
And that's actually a pretty good change when you think about it, Dan, because a lot of these guys would want to run the Big 8 series on Saturday night, and a few of them would like to run the JMK 63 on Sunday afternoon. So I think that's a positive change. It gets the guys, basically they can run all 4 days if they want to.
Coming back with more qualifying live on KQEG TV 23, CenturyLink Channel 4, Charter Channel 5. Tough break for Hollywood Matt Henderson tonight. I looked down, I'm like, why is Matt all dressed up sitting in the back of his hauler with his dad, John? John just had a birthday not too long ago. Happy birthday, John.
Wave to us, John.
John put a new flag up outside of his yard. Happy birthday, John Henderson. Matt Henderson's gremlins continue. He is not racing tonight. Unforeseen oil pressure issues inside the engine. And I know Matt's sitting down there with his head down, and he's pretty ticked off because that is a competitor that hates having problems.
Yeah, that's especially when you have a reoccurring problem as Dave had with this engine a couple of times. So hopefully they get it fixed.
First NASCAR late model out to qualify is the number 50 Epic Media 2017 Chevy SS out of West Salem, Wisconsin, Mike Carlson. Gordon Epping CPA, Carlson Designs, Wibke Fur and Training Company, Newey's Vogue Bar and Grill on Mikey's car.
Mikey's first time across, registering.
Transponder not responding. Bill, go down with the rag and some Windex.
I'm on it. Carlson picked up his first feature victory in a couple of weeks, or a couple of years, a couple of weeks ago.
21:01 was his first time. 21:01 followed up with a
20:030, so that is the mark everybody is shooting for, 20:030.
Down below, the number 51 features Sports Bar and Grill of West Salem 2020 Toyota Camry. Only 2 Toyotas out here this year. Home in Wisconsin's Justin Mulliken. Architectural Metal Specialists, Festival Foods, Moxie's Restaurant, Napa of West Salem. Sparta Dental Center and Jake Amundsen Tattoo and Print.
Mulligan's first trip around a 24.94 for the 51 car out of the Eckelberg Racing Stables.
Mulligan started on the pole for both features last week. Or a matter of fact, on the outside of row one on both features.
Yeah, he led the first one for a few laps. Looking to start up front or, at least take one home tonight. Second time across, a 23.72 for Mulligan.
Next out, number 66, Wilson Oil Company, 2019 Chevy Double S out of West Salem. Kicking the short track, Steve Carlson. Gordon Epping CPA, Graph Electric, Butch's Slot Car Bodies, and Johnny's Hobbies. Again, Carlson third in Bud Dash points, second in overall points.
Carlson's first time around was a 21.84, already into second for the multi-time track champion, state champion, and the former national champion.
Carlson sitting 72 points behind Nick Murgic in our championship point standings and still has a chance to take home the Bud Dash tonight.
He won the first, right to the top of the board with a 19.990. Carlson.
If there were to be a tie in the Bud Dash, it goes to the most wins, and right now Murgic has 2.
Yep, so going to be fun to watch.
Down below the 77, JS Racing 2018 Chevy Double S out of Rockland, Wisconsin. That's Jimmy Summerfield. Cordy Industrial Battery, RBS Recycling, and Subway of Sparta. Wonder if he gets fed in footlongs.
That wouldn't be so bad, especially for you.
Oh, I'd take that sponsorship right on the hood.
Summerfield, a longtime competitor here in the late model class, dating way back to the 80s. A 24.162 on his first trip around. Not the speed he's been looking for the last few years, but always out here, always supporting the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway.
Ton of late models qualifying tonight with one newcomer
and
one familiar
Summerfield
name.
Pulls her in.
Summerfield's going to say, I've had enough, I'll just take the one lap. Next out, the number 86 Matco Tools Ryan Fink, 2020 Toyota Camry out of West Salem, Wisconsin. That's John Eckelberg. John Eckelberg, 360 Real Estate Solutions, Pabst Brewing, Festival Foods, Moxie's Restaurant, Napa of West Salem, Clements Automotive, and Nick's Bar.
Eckelberg been splitting the season with his sister, a 21.621. I want to know how Ryan Fink got his name on that car.
It's called money.
Yeah, that does it, doesn't it?
Money or maybe a good trade of tools, one way or another. Steve Carlson still sits on top of the leaderboard, 19.990.
And Eckelberg will improve it to a 21.382, a 21.382, currently sitting fourth.
Next out, former hobby stock driver, ran a couple of races in a Sportsman. The number 81, BK Auto Service, 2019 Chevy. Coming out of French Island, Wisconsin, that's John Groskopf. John Groskopf, supported by City Auto Sales. That's Brent Kirshner's backup car.
Groskopf, former top competitor in the hobby stock class for years, took about 18 years off, came back 2 years ago to win himself a couple of features. Tonight, driving the Kirshner backup car, a 22.903, a 22.903 already puts him in the top 5.
For now, got some work to do.
Lots of work to do. Well, this is his first time ever in a late model, so we'll cut him just a little bit of slack.
And I think that's the first time Brent Kirshner's backup has been out here since last Oktoberfest.
That is correct. Much improved time, a 21.860, will still sit in 5th.
What a first feature he had last weekend. Taking second place, the 99 Northern Racing Products 2020 Toyota Camry out of Farmington, Minnesota. Driving Miss Betsy, that's Jeff Partington. Thought Partington was going to get a win there for a moment last week.
Oh, so close. I mean, if he wanted to apply the chrome horn, that first feature would have been his. Pretty decent time at a 25.73 for Partington on his first lap around. One of our, for the last 2 years now, been making the trip from Farmington, Minnesota.
Mr. Reinertz, how are you this evening? First time off of turn 4 for Partington.
And a 23.35 will put him third for now for Partington.
Top of the order we go. The 02 Gasoline Alley Toys and Antiques 2018 Chevy Double S out of West Salem. Here comes Carter Christensen. Ken's Auto Repair, Jeff Martin Custom Construction, Brush Works, Hidden Trails Corn Maze, and Culligan of La Crosse.
Hey, Culligan, man.
I think you got to raise. You got to get your voice higher.
You can't surprise me like that.
Got to get the voice higher.
Hey, Culligan, man.
Like that.
Oh, a very impressive first lap for Christensen at a 24.42. Was that the Penguin that did that?
Yeah, it was.
It was.
It sounded painful up here.
Christensen slowly getting faster with that car. I had a little issue a couple weeks ago, but looks like he's got it all running well. A 22.00. That'll put him third on the board.
Next up, 7T, J. Buckley Baseball Tours 2017 Chevy out of La Crosse. It's Don Thunder Turner. Faulkner Motors, Cooler Region Land Surveyors, J-Line Design Race Wraps, Kickapoo Dairy, and Hungry Peddler. His grandson Jacob and he grows 16 different varieties of pumpkins on his Viola farm and sell them for his college fund.
That's nice.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Turner, very decorated. A 28.72 on his first lap. He's in the Wisconsin State Baseball Hall of Fame.
That's a slow first lap for Turner,
Very
too.
slow first lap for him. He's also the only driver in the history of the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway to run all 50 Oktoberfests, and this year will mark number 51.
Spent 32 years coaching baseball at Central High School.
A 24.61 can only get him to the top 6 right now.
Next out, currently tied for third in points, and man, he has had a great season himself. Down below the 8M, Moen Racing 2020 Toyota Camry out of New Market, Minnesota. That is Billy Moen. Third and sixth in last week's double features.
Definitely one of the most consistent performers we've had here at La Crosse this year. Always somewhere near that top 5 by the time that checker flag falls.
Matter of fact, Mike Carlson, I should say, had a fourth in his sixth last weekend.
Nice. 22.65 already puts him to fourth for the former ARCA Midwest Tour 2018 Rookie of the Year.
Top 6 make what we call the Bud Dash 6 for 6. Right now, Justin Mulligan's on the bubble.
Moen right to the top of the board with a 19.962.
He has not had a fast time yet this year.
No, he has not, but we got a lot of fast dogs coming.
Next out, the 8C Clements Automotive 2019 Chevy Monty out of West Salem. That's Nick Clements. Interstate Roofing, Genzi's Game Day Pub, Johnny's Hobbies, and U.S. Bank. Nick Clements currently tied for first in the Budweiser Dash NASCAR late models with Nick Mergic.
20, whoa, very fast first lap, a 21.06. Slow start to the season for Clements. He's been coming on lately with a lot of podium finishes and looks to lock down one of his first late model championships tonight in the Dash.
I think Nick may have one quick time this year.
A 20.021 puts him third on the board.
Next up, the number 8K BK Auto Service 2020 Chevy Monte Carlo, supported by City Auto Sales. La Crosse's Brent Kirshner. Brent Kirshner picking up his first feature win of 2020 last weekend, and talk about being on a rail, he was.
Yeah, he was pretty fast until Partington showed up the last 2 laps, but he was able to hold Partington back to win that first feature last week. Always one of our top competitors here at La Crosse.
Nope, his time did not register.
Hopefully the second one does, because we didn't see the first one.
Transponder not responding type situation. That one didn't register either. Oh well, we'll see what happens. Next up, the 9C Capsule Technologies 2013 Chevy Monty out of New Prague, Minnesota, Dean Cornelius. CVF Racing and Engine Accessories, Northern Racing Products, Custom Windows Plus, Dynamic Drive Lines, and Klein Transport on the 9C of Dean Cornelius. Brent Kirshner, 5th fastest, 20.040.
Cornelius already up to 7th on the board with a 22.72. Been racing primarily dirt. This is, I believe, only his 3rd appearance here at the Speedway this year.
Carter Christensen now on the bubble to make the Bud Dash for cash.
Cornelius racing out of the Lamoureux Racing Stables.
Next out, your current point leader and tied for the Bud Dash Championship. The number 12 Mergic Race Engines 2019 Chevy Monte out of Rosemount, Minnesota, Nick Mergic. Justman Freight Lines, CrossFit Calypso, and Suburban GM Parts. He could nail one championship possibly tonight. Mergic's first time was a 20.058. That's 6th fastest. He put himself on his own bubble for the 6x6 dash. Again, he wants the dash, so he gets a chance for a championship. Second time around, coming off a turn 4, 19.918. There's fast time, 19.918 for Nick Mergic. Next out, one feature win under his belt this year, the 14B Fastenal 2015 Chevy Monte. Out of Bangor, Wisconsin, Steve Bachman. Steve still has a chance to finish 2nd in points this year.
Bachman, the Rookie of the Year last year, the former Sportsman champion here at La Crosse 2 years ago. A very good first time at a 23.50. Kirshner's on the bubble.
Weir's Machine, Lawn Keepers, ABC and Consulting, Silverado Saloon, Angie's, and Green Bay Anodizing for Bachman.
Looking to bump Kirshner out of the fast dash. A 21.17, not going to bump him out. Kirshner's still on that bubble.
Kirshner's only 30 points back in that dash for the championship. Next to qualify, the number 18 Martin's Milk Service 2017 Ford Fusion out of Alaska. That's Jeremy Wagner. Martin Warehousing, Paz Ingredients, Armed Transportation, Potato King, Peterbilt, Silverados, Cooler Refrigeration, and General Collectibles.
First time, a very good first time, a 21.56 for Wagner, who got rudely introduced to the wall last week.
That's only 9th fastest, believe it or not. We are that tight in qualifying.
Yes, we are. I told you before we came on the air tonight that somewhere around a 20.0 or 19.9 would be fast time. 20.013, that moves him up to 4th.
Mike Carlson gets in the dash for now. Kirshner's chances of winning the Bud Dash have just subsided as he was knocked out of the dash. Next up, the number 20 PSI Engineering 2020 Rowdy out of Belle Plaine, Minnesota. That's Devin Turbo Schmidt. Turbo Schmidt, sponsored by Ingersoll Rand Aero, Radius Medical, and Radius Manufacturing. Former Sportsman driver here at La Crosse.
Schmidt been splitting his time pretty much everywhere around the Midwest. A 24.59 on his first lap. Went to late models, I believe it was last year for the first time. Doing pretty well with that between here and his home track. That 4.59 not cracking the top 10. Here comes Schmidt for his second time. A 21.73 only puts him up to 10th. That's how tight of a field we got tonight, Dan.
3 drivers under the 22nd mark, Mergic, Moen, and Carlson. As we bring up the number 25, Refinisher Supply, 2015 Chevy Monte. He was the 2017 Sportsman Rookie of the Year here at La Crosse. Out of New Prague, Minnesota, the New Prague Nightmare, Adam Oxborough. Schaefer's Specialized Lubricants, Epic Media, Seneca Foods, and Wagner Automotive.
25.50 for the former Sportsman Rookie of the Year. I believe he won one feature that year. That was his very first feature. That was pretty cool to be a part of.
Rookie of the Year, and he wrecked 4 times. Oh, kind of overdrives it coming out of turn 4.
A little wide coming off a 4, only gets it down to a 4.96. A 24.96 for Oxborough.
Right now, Nick Clements and Mike Carlson would have the front row of the Budweiser 6x6 dash. As we bring up the 25 Dene Racing 2019 Toyota Camry Out of Sparta, Wisconsin, that's Ken Dene. Ken Dene. Matter of fact, there is a contest going on social media. There's a racing Facebook page, a national page. His car's been nominated for the best-looking late model in the country.
That is a pretty sweet-looking wrap job as you look at that checkered flag wrap on the back quarters of it. 21-121 for the first lap for Dene. Going to need to improve that.
First year he's been back behind the wheel in 14 years.
I believe he was the Sportsman driver at Thomas Sparta Speedway years ago.
Next out, a very familiar name when it comes to late model racing here at the Crosse Speedway. Normally has a black and blue entry. Now it's just black. How about the 27? Michael's Truck Equipment, 2019 Chevy Monte out of Cashton, Wisconsin. Tony Bagstad. Tony Bagstad back out again. $50-50 is already at $200, folks. Let's get that thing to $1,000 tonight. Get your 50-50 tickets on the top of the hill, right by the top of the grandstand, and also located in turn 1 by the Hamburger Grill. 50-50 tickets. Get them now.
24:00 will be Bagstad's final time. He's going to need to do some work to get to the front.
Next up, the number 40 2020 Chevy Double S out of Eagan, Minnesota. That is Michael Beamish. Back again, Michael Beamish. Again, 50-50s at $200. We're not even done qualifying yet.
Yeah, that's pretty good considering we only gave away, about $600 last week? So
$637 last week.
That's a number we can beat easily tonight.
Beamish, over 1,000 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Beamish made his first appearance at the Speedway last week. A 26.69 on his first time around.
One more NASCAR late model yet to qualify after Michael Beamish is done laying some threads down. So get those 50-50 tickets, a lot of cash and gift certificates we're going to be giving away tonight to somebody.
I have mine already. Beamish with a 3.69 knocks 0.3 off that bad boy. Still not going to make the top 10.
Last week's Tough Night Award winner. We'll be talking to him in pre-race. He is the 47 2018 Chevy Impala out of Sparta, Wisconsin, Pete Carlson. This will be the second time this year he's got the Tough Night Award. Oof. That means he'll be recognized.
That's not a good year when you get that more than one. If you get it once.
Well, he'll be recognized at the banquet. 21-180, Pete Carlson.
Carlson has been steadily picking up speed, and then he had that unfortunate accident last week. Actually started in the front of the second feature last week. Little contact in the backstretch, wrecked her a little bit, so now he's got to make his way back to the front again.
29-60 for Pete Carlson. So unofficially, your quick time qualifier with a 19.918 is going to be Nick Murgic. Billy, you want to read who made the final Bud Dash for Cash?
All right, our final Bud Dash for Cash. Mike Carlson makes it in. He'll be alongside Nick Clements in the front row. Row 2 will feature Jeremy Wagner and Steve Carlson. And the back row will feature a pair of Minnesota drivers in Billy Moan and Nick Murgic. Murgic will pad his point lead just a little bit more with that fast qualifying effort.
Well, Mikey's not in it.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight for qualifying from the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. We only have maybe about a minute left here. Folks, you still have time to make it down here to the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Everything kicks off at 7:30. We have twin 20s tonight for the late models plus the Sportsman, the Hornets, the Minivans, plus a Hornet novelty. You do not want to miss that. It is almost 7 o'clock, folks. you want to make sure you're here. If you're within a 30-minute distance of the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, it is a perfect night to be out here. Make sure you get down here and enjoy the last night of regular season point racing here at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. For Doc and Dan, I'm Jesse Von Ruden. Kyle's over on camera. We'll kick it back over to our regular scheduled program. Classic High School Baseball coming up next. A contest between Central and Logan from last year. You don't want to miss it right here on KQEG TV.
At Ace of La Crosse, they know that playtime around here goes year-round. Make the Sportsland stop before you head out hunting, fishing, or camping for quality.